Welcome back. I'm Cesar Claro, and this is SIEDC on CTV. With us now, Bisignano Chesnoff of Claro Properties. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me, Cesar.
You're a licensed real estate broker. Tell us how you got into that field.
Well, I was a single mom with 3 children, and I was doing substitute teaching. And I had gotten my real estate license probably a few years earlier, just because I was interested in real estate. Who knew that I would be divorced, raising 3 children, and needing to have a field that I could up and leave anytime my kids needed me, because that's all they had.
Wow.
And so in 1997, I gave up substitute teaching and became a full-time licensed real estate salesperson.
Did you teach on Staten Island?
Yes, I did, but when I taught at Staten Island Tech, which was wonderful. I taught social studies, and it was a very rewarding experience. I really loved teaching. But unfortunately, when I was going to be changed to a permanent school, it was going to be either in Manhattan or Brooklyn. And that wasn't something that would have worked out for my family.
How has the residential real estate market on Staten Island changed over the last, say, 20 years?
Well, I'll tell you, when I came into real estate in 1998, my mentor told me, Claire, you have to do this full time because you're dealing with the single largest investment a person has.
Right.
So I immediately stopped substitute teaching, and on a wing and a prayer, I prayed a lot, I began to sell real estate on Staten Island. And at that time, in 1998, we were in a brisk market. It was a seller's market.
Yeah.
There was so many days that I would be negotiating, and we'd have multiple offers.
Amazing. Amazing.
So it was really a
Those
different time.
were the glory days on Staten Island.
It was a different time than we have now.
Well, speaking of now, what advice would you give to those people on Staten Island looking to sell their homes? Because there are a lot of homes for sale, and there's even a larger group of people who want to put their homes up for sale but are afraid because there's so many homes. So what's the advice you give, like, your clients?
Well, there are several things that I would recommend. First of all, that they should work with a realtor who maybe has, in fact, worked with a family member and does have a proven track record.
Right.
If they don't know of someone, they can always look into Googling the different agents and finding out that they do have, for instance, I have 9 designations after my name. Why did I do that and sit in those classes for all those years? Because the more that I know, the better it is to bring to the table to have the job and to get the job done properly.
Well, that's a good point, because you're an accredited staging professional, which I'm assuming is one of those titles after your name. What is that?
An accredited staging professional is a fabulous job. I get to play HGTV during the day. Most of the time, folks will list their homes with me, and unfortunately, how we live and how we sell our homes are 2 different things. So there's clutter everywhere. You can't decipher, is this the living room, the bedroom, the playroom?
So you go in and stage it. You get it prepared for sale.
And I absolutely prepare it for sale. I remove furniture, I add color to the walls, and sometimes less is more.
And where are the clients when you're doing all this? The sellers?
The sellers
in the basement?
sometimes are helping us. Sometimes they're just in awe that, my gosh, I think I'd like to buy this house back.
Oh, that's funny.
Maybe we really don't want to move.
Wow.
And the beauty part of it, though, is staging is essential, because just last week I put a home on the market that I had been staging for about 2 weeks because we needed painting and some remedial work done to the house. But the house, the first day on the market, received an offer. And by the 3rd day, we had an acceptance, and it's on its way to contract.
You know, in New York City, there are probably more renters than there are homeowners. But you have a growing young professional rental market, but eventually they want to jump to become buyers and own their own homes. What's your advice to the renter now that's looking to buy?
My advice to the renter is to sit down with someone who's a professional, such as myself, and make a plan. It may not happen this year, but it could be next year. It's very important that they keep their credit and they make their payments for all their bills on time, and not do anything foolish that would impact their owning a home. And to try and save, going out on the weekends is great, but putting that little nest egg together for a down payment, because FHA is 3.5%, and they can do an FHA loan if they just have the right tools and the right process and what they need to do. So counseling is sometimes really important.
What are the hot areas right now on Staten Island? Like, where is selling higher?
What I'm going to say
than
is there's not
average.
hot areas, it's a hot price. The price range that sells the best is $250,000 to about $400,000. Those homes are selling rather quickly.
Really? So regardless of if you're on the North Shore, Mid-Island, or South Shore,
Correct.
the 250 to 5s are selling.
Yes, yes.
Now you're a member, of course, of SIEDC.
I am a member of the National Association of Realtors. I am a certified residential specialist. I'm the only Staten Island agent who is a member of the Certified Luxury Home Marketing Society. And I'm an accredited buyer representative, which is if I'm not selling your home, I can actually work for the buyer in their purchasing a home.
Oh, wow.
They sign a contract with me just like a seller signs a contract, and I'm going to be working to sell their home. They sign a contract with me, and I work with them.
Is there a lot of that activity on Staten Island?
That's the only way that I work. There are a small number of us doing it, but it's the best for a buyer because that person has the fiduciary to you, the buyer, and they work to get you the house at the best price that it'll appraise at. They can tell you how many days the house has been on the market, what other homes have sold for in the area. So it's really...
But you also sell, too. You don't just represent buyers, right?
I represent sellers as a listing agent.
Right.
But I only represent clients. I either represent seller clients
Oh,
or
I
buyer
see.
clients. I don't work customers because
Right.
customers, unfortunately, are a little fickle and they'll go into an open house, and if you've been working with them for 3 months, they'll go into an open house, and sometimes the people in the open house who are agents will say, oh, well, if you don't buy this today,
Yeah,
and they'll
yeah.
sign on the dotted line, and then
And that
3
causes
months
chaos.
down the road, and you have nothing to show for it. So.
If you could ask our legislators to grant one wish to help improve either your business or the residential real estate market, what do we need? What are we missing?
What we're missing in Staten Island is bring back the tax abatement.
Yeah.
We
I had a feeling that was
need-
going to be your
We really
response.
need that tax abatement because the closing costs on new construction are rather high,
Right.
and the tax abatement just took a bit of a bite out of it for us, and they made it so much more palatable for the prospective homeowner to just move forward.
For those of you out there that aren't familiar with the tax abatement, for many, many years on Staten Island, if you bought a new home, you got an 8-year tax abatement from the city of New York. You basically didn't have to pay real estate taxes. Several years back, the Bloomberg administration took that abatement away. Now, if you're Derek Jeter or A-Rod and you have a big condo in Manhattan, you still get the tax abatement. But if you're Mr. and Mrs. Smith and you live on Staten Island, you don't deserve it anymore, apparently. But it really did have a negative impact on the market.
Tremendous. The days on the market, I represent builders, and the days on the market just kept on ticking and ticking. And then unfortunately that compromises the appraisal process. So.
Well, we're very happy that you joined us. This was a very educational segment. I know for me, hopefully for the audience. Claire,
Thank
you.
you. My
Thank you for being
pleasure.
here.